What is going on, beautiful people of YouTube or the internet, wherever you're tuning in from? This is the Exquisite Nugget. We will make this quick because I actually have to go on a run here, and the Lynx won tonight. I will cover them. I'll actually get into it right now. Covering from the last 72 hours from August 30th to now. It is September already. Can you believe it? Birthday's here soon, near end of the month. So stay tuned on that. And like I said, for the Minnesota Lynx, they lost. It was the other night on Friday night, I believe, to the Dallas Wings. It's always been tough considering the last time they lost only by 6 against the Dallas Wings, but they almost got blown out completely by 18. So it was pretty rough. It happens though. There are games that sometimes you're just not going to be able to win, or that's a bad matchup. Other than that, you still got to give credit where it's, you know, much appreciated to Enrique Ogunbowale and the Dallas Wings, considering it's just like, wow, they actually looked like a pretty solid team. I believe they lost tonight. It was against was it the Fever? Yeah, I almost said the Mystics, but yeah, the Indiana Fever have been on quite a roll lately. I think it was 5-1 or 6-1, just like the Lynx. They only lost one game since All Star break, and it's crazy, man, considering how the playoff push is finally here for the W. Since most teams like the Indiana Fever want to push up, become sixth, maybe fifth, depending on how well they do. If they play the Aces again, that'll be a very tough matchup. Seattle Storm also lost today, I believe. They'll have a rematch against the Connecticut Sun. And some news about the Connecticut Sun, in particular, Dejanay Carrington. I just heard about how she called out the Fevers fans being the nastiest in the W. It's crazy just because you never know what you're going to get from every fan base on a certain night, but it seems that there have been a lot of internet hate and social media jabs or attention against Dejanay, or just even the Connecticut Sun, or just teams who have lost to the Fever. It's ridiculous because so many teams. I don't know if it's just due to Caitlin Clark's presence in the W, but it sure has stirred up the pot considering not a lot of people particularly like her, even though for some reason they were really excited to see her or wanting to welcome her into the W. So I don't know if it's just the Fever alone, or just it's like the Fever versus everybody. Everybody kind of has something to go against them, or the Aces, because they don't want them to three-peat. And for the most part, it's time for a change. So we never know if this will be, I wouldn't call it the new normal, or just something that in particular happens on rare occasion, considering now I'm looking at these hilarious and outrageous memes on Twitter about how, the whole, I don't want to get into the whole drama of it, but, you know, Caitlin Clark cooking Dejanay Carrington, even though Dejanay, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure she's a great defender. She's locked down probably Caitlin in some of the first few games. But who knows how this is going to be, if this will be a rivalry, if this is just something small, and you know how all this noise just translates into something way worse. But getting back on track, guys. So the Minnesota Lynx will play the Fever very soon. I think that's actually in the next game. I'll have to double check on that. Let me see here. It is a really tough uphill battle, though, considering how they didn't have Alana Smith. I believe it was today when they defeated the Chicago Sky. She got hurt in the last previous game, Smith against the Wings. So let me see. We got some good games coming up this week for like Tuesday in particular. It'll be the Sky versus the Aces here at home. I wish I can go to the home game, but I'm going to be busy working. We got the Seattle Storm versus the Sun on the rematch, the Mystics versus the Wings, and the Dream versus the Mercury. Phoenix Mercury got killed today also by the Las Vegas Aces. It's crazy. At their home, too. And Friday, it will be, the Lynx versus the Fever. Should be an interesting one. Always fun when your team is going to hopefully get the dub on the road or in enemy territory. So we'll have to see how that one plays out. I feel like the Fever might be a dark horse coming into the playoffs, depending on who they face. So that'll definitely be an interesting one. Other than that, I want us to see how, in particular, if they actually somehow manage to upset a higher seed team, probably say like the Sun, or who knows if they face the Liberty, it just depends. Because this is crazy, though. I'm looking at the standings right now. They just made this in particular. Fever the 6, Minnesota's 3. Yeah, Connecticut isn't that far away from Minnesota, only like half a game ahead, so it should be fun to watch. Hopefully the Lynx can get up there. The Liberty are sitting comfortably at 1 right now with only 6 losses. So, and pretty much the Chicago Sky are hanging. They're clinging just barely onto that 8th seed. So we never know how that might turn out until Atlanta might just get ahead. We'll have to see. Considering Phoenix right now is on the number 7 seed, they've been losing or on a bad streak lately. So, and the Fever on a 4-game win streak. So it's pretty tough. Minnesota had a 7-game win streak going into against Dallas. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case because Dallas kept their end on the 3-game win streak and then lost it to, of course, the Fever. And in particular, this next seg will be about Jamal Murray. So, other than that, guys, just waiting on a sponsorship right now. Should be coming here very soon. So, definitely stay tuned for that. But for Jamal Murray in this particular segment, he hasn't gotten that contract extension yet, and you wonder why. I believe I spoke to my older cousin Corey today. Shout out to him. He could take a pay cut. It is a possibility. We'd love to see what happens if they decide to go down that route. Not really sure if it would make much of a difference if Jamal decides to take less of a higher paying contract, not as much, just so that way we can free up cap space and hopefully retain Aaron Gordon, obviously, for next year. Because we only have so much we can do until we never know how long these players will last. I mean, hopefully they stay around and are Nuggets for life, like Mr. Nugget AG. His contract's due up until next season, so we definitely want to keep as much as we can for him. And the fact that right now we don't really have much in the way of guarantees. So it should be fun to see what the Nuggets, the Denver Nuggets, particularly address and figure out for Jamal Murray. So we're still waiting. I'm pretty sure they'll come up with something soon. This isn't over. They got plenty of plans. So definitely stay tuned, locked in. That'll probably do it for the stream because I got to go on a run. But other than that, guys, we got more games. I'll probably go live again Tuesday night or Wednesday, depending on which one I feel. I know I should have gone live. I think it was yesterday I was supposed to do a live stream, but this is all right. Other than that, guys, this is Mr. Exquisite Nugget signing off. You already know the vibes. And until then, Gary Harris.